50 wins. 0 losses. Over $1 billion earned. But the fight Floyd Mayweather can't win is happening right now. In 2026. The money Mayweather we all know is already lost. Not in the ring. Outside it. What you're about to see changes everything you thought you knew about Floyd Mayweather. Stay with me. They call him Money Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather Jr. 50 victories, 0 defeats, and more than $1.2 billion earned throughout his career. This wasn't just a fighter winning inside the ring. He completely changed the image of wealth in professional sports. Mountains of cash spread across hotel beds. An $18 million watch. Private jets. Color-matched Rolls-Royces. The entire world saw it. The entire world talked about it. But here's the uncomfortable truth nobody really wants to admit. It's 2026. And the entire Money Mayweather persona is crashing into reality. At 48 years old, Floyd isn't sitting peacefully on some tropical beach. He appears to be in survival mode. Let's talk about something called the burn rate. In the financial world, your burn rate measures how quickly you spend money. And Floyd's burn rate resembles a wildfire. He owns 2 Gulfstream private jets. Just keeping those planes operational, hangar fees, pilots, fuel, maintenance, insurance, reportedly costs between $4 and $6 million every year per aircraft. That's nearly $12 million annually just to keep the jets ready. Not flying. Just sitting there. Then there's the car collection. White luxury cars in Vegas. Black luxury cars in Los Angeles. Over 100 high-end vehicles. Bugatti. Ferrari. Rolls-Royce. Lamborghini. Cars are not investments. They are liabilities. And when someone owns over 100 of them, that liability becomes enormous. In 2025, Floyd reportedly spent $2.25 million on 4 luxury vehicles in a single day, only to later sue the dealership afterward. That doesn't feel like calculated power moves. That feels like reckless spending without any long-term financial discipline. And then there's the entourage. Dozens of bodyguards, assistants, drivers, chefs, stylists, personal staff. He's still operating with the same gigantic entourage structure from his peak years, while bringing in a fraction of the income. Back when Floyd was fighting Pacquiao and McGregor, he was earning $100 to $300 million per event. Those mega paydays no longer exist. The exhibition circuit pays significantly less. Maybe 10 to 30 million. Before taxes. Before travel expenses. Before the entourage. Before the jets. He's no longer living off the growth of his wealth. He appears to be spending through the principal itself. And that is exactly how someone with a billion-dollar image can still go broke. Now let's discuss gambling. Floyd doesn't drink. Doesn't do drugs. But everybody has something they chase. Floyd's addiction is adrenaline. And that rush got replaced by gambling. He allegedly lost $10 million on a single Super Bowl bet. Think about that. When he wins, taxes take a portion. But when he loses, the entire loss belongs to him. A $10 million mistake becomes a full $10 million hit. Now let's look at the receipts. Because there are plenty of them. Receipt number 1. In 2025, Floyd Mayweather reportedly faced legal action connected to eviction from a luxury apartment in New York. A man publicly claiming ownership of a $40 million real estate portfolio was allegedly $500,000 behind on rent. Not a mortgage. Rent. Receipt number 2. A jewelry business in Miami reportedly filed a lawsuit claiming Floyd walked away with $1.6 million worth of jewelry after paying with 5 separate checks. According to the allegations, none of the checks cleared. Every single one bounced. One bounced check can happen to anybody. But 5 separate checks totaling over $1 million from a man carrying a billion-dollar image? That doesn't sound like a simple mistake. That sounds like a severe cash flow issue. Receipt number 3. Logan Paul. Years after their exhibition match, Logan publicly claimed Floyd still owed him roughly $1.5 million. And Logan is no struggling YouTuber anymore. WWE success. Prime hydration money. He has no reason to invent stories. Yet he keeps bringing it up because, according to him, the money still hasn't arrived. Receipt number 4. After the Mayweather vs. McGregor fight in 2017, Floyd earned around $300 million. Yet shortly afterward, the IRS filed a $22 million tax lien against him because he allegedly didn't have enough liquid cash to cover the taxes. A man earning $300 million struggled to produce $22 million in cash. The money was already spent before it fully settled. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Remember when 50 Cent challenged Floyd to read a page from Harry Potter on camera? The internet turned it into a joke. But underneath the humor sits a reality with potentially devastating financial consequences. Whether it's dyslexia, limited formal education, or something else, one reality remains. If you're operating a billion-dollar empire but can't personally review a 40-page legal contract, you're placing enormous trust in the people around you. And in the world of money and fame, that kind of dependence can become incredibly dangerous. Which brings us to February 2026. Floyd Mayweather Jr. reportedly filed a massive $340 million lawsuit against Showtime and several former advisors, claiming that hundreds of millions generated from his biggest fights had quietly been redirected into third-party accounts. Accounts he allegedly never knew existed. According to Floyd's legal team, when they requested complete accounting records, they were reportedly informed that many of the records had been destroyed in a flood. Financial documents connected to hundreds of millions of dollars supposedly vanished. This lawsuit is either one of the most important legal battles in boxing history, or it's the most desperate financial Hail Mary sports has ever seen. Which brings us to the present day. Floyd's current exhibition schedule tells the entire story. He has a fight lined up in the Democratic Republic of the Congo against a 60-year-old opponent. Floyd Mayweather fighting there at this stage of his life doesn't feel like a legacy move. It looks like a man chasing whatever payday is still available. Then there's another exhibition in Greece against a retired kickboxer. Why Greece? Because operating there reportedly avoids certain Nevada Athletic Commission restrictions. Less oversight, lower expenses, quicker access to money. Floyd appears to be optimizing for immediate cash flow, not historical greatness. And finally, the rumored rematch. Manny Pacquiao vs. Floyd Mayweather Jr. Potentially staged at the Sphere in Las Vegas. Two legends approaching their late 40s. Both years removed from their physical prime. Returning mainly because streaming numbers and nostalgia still generate revenue. This doesn't feel like a victory lap anymore. It feels like selling off the final valuable asset Floyd still possesses. His name. And here's the truth connecting this entire story together. Floyd is not simply dealing with financial problems. He's trapped inside the identity he spent decades creating. For over 25 years, he presented himself as the richest, smartest, most untouchable figure in sports. He wasn't just Floyd anymore. He became money. He became TBE. The best ever. To downsize now. To sell a jet. To release the entourage. To move into a smaller home. To publicly admit that the golden era is over. For Floyd, that likely feels like psychological destruction. Because the Money Mayweather persona isn't just marketing. It became his entire sense of self-worth. He would seemingly rather bounce checks at a jewelry store than admit the image may have partially been an illusion. He would rather fight a 60-year-old opponent in the Congo than publicly acknowledge the blockbuster days are gone. He would rather launch a $340 million lawsuit than quietly restructure his life. And that right there may be the true tragedy. Not just the gambling rumors. Not just the reckless spending. Not just the entourage or bad investments. It's the inability to separate personal value from financial value. It's what happens when someone builds their entire identity around a number. And eventually that number starts shrinking. Mike Tyson experienced it. MC Hammer experienced it. And now in real time, during 2026, Floyd Money Mayweather may be experiencing it too. The greatest defensive boxer who ever lived might ultimately be unable to defend himself from his own lifestyle. So here's my question to you. Is this the ultimate cautionary tale of the Money Team era? Or do you believe Floyd Mayweather still has one final comeback left? Not inside the ring, but inside his bank account. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you made it this far, Drop a comment saying I saw the truth. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.